this side of you for... That's all right.
It's no problem. Good Yontif, everybody. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
So yesterday I reminded you that you came for a birthday party, and it's the birthday party of the world. But there's actually two ways of looking at what kind of a birthday it is. One is that it's the birthday of the world, which is what I was taught when I was growing up. But it's also it's supposed to be either the actual creation of the world or the creation of humans. So what did you bring for the birthday party? What is it that your present is going to be for either the world or for humans? And I love that because I think that the connection between the two is one of the most important things in life. I think it is what gives life meaning, is the fact that we are partners with God to take care of the world. And we bring that to this. Can you turn my microphone down just a little bit, please? Let's see which one I am. I think. Nope. Nope, that one actually. Which one is that? These have to go on. This one it doesn't go on yet. Actually, I know it's not working. It's this one. Okay. We are good, I think. Nope, actually that was up. Let's go down a little bit. Let's see, does that help? Is that too loud? Is that getting quieter? I can't tell. That wasn't good. Okay, so I will remind you of all the things that I always remind you of. If you are children in the service, we have put brand new distraction books in the distraction bookcase, and you are welcome to those. Some are very cool Rosh HaShanah stories. If you want, and your children, the child care room is in the religious school wing. It's in the youth lounge. Please have parents always accompany children if they're walking around. And remember that we will have long-standing times as we progress into the holidays. It's going to get longer and longer standing times. Know that your prayer book, your machzor it's called, for the High Holy Days, says, Lord, I can do this, watch, that's even better. It's a new microphone. We tested it, but nobody was in the room and there were no other microphones on. That your prayer book was written in the 70s, and immediately after this prayer book, they went to gender neutral wording. And so this prayer book is going to have some words that people sitting next to you are going to change. For example, you know, the biggest one is the one, Lord. Some people are uncomfortable saying, Lord, I am. I don't think God is a guy, or at least not all the time. I don't think God is like the Lord of a manor, being really mean to us. There are all kinds of reasons why I don't like using that word. And when I say Lord, I like to be thinking about God, so you'll hear me change the word all the time. By the way, about a year or two later, they came out with a new version of this book, and it doesn't say Lord in it at all. I accidentally had one copy of that and started using that one copy, and that was bad. Try turning off number 1 for a sec. How's that? Does that help a little? That helps. All right, so we're going to have to turn number 1 way down to about this much. When Spencer's singing, we turn that on. We're working on it. Turn to page 535 if you can't read Hebrew, because that's where the transliterations start. I will try to be better at giving you the transliteration pages, but know that it's going to follow in an order. So after we do one prayer, whatever the next thing is we do in Hebrew is going to be following along. So if you need the transliteration, please turn to page 535 and keep following. We do have large print versions of this. I've got one. If you need it, please speak with the ushers. And you notice that there are kippot, yarmulkes, and taluses in the back. Notice that there are people who are going to be honored coming up, especially during the Torah service. If you are not asked to be honored, then no pressure. Although if somebody doesn't show up, I might just point and, come on up. It's going to be like game show moment. And I will also tell you that, yes, there are Reformed congregations that do 2 services, 2 days worth of Rosh HaShanah. I grew up at a Reformed congregation that did, but we don't. And even though we don't, I still like doing service 2. So expect most of service 2, except when we get to the Torah reading, and then we have to do service 1 back for the Torah reading, because that's the one we like. So we begin our service knowing that we are ready. As you noticed yesterday, I was saying that we kind of, every day we're given a new, still too loud? I'm going to try this. Keep moving it away. We haven't figured out which one is the volume for this. Would you play with volume for this for a second? See if you can figure out which one it is. Is that coming down? Which one is that? Come down? Yeah, how's that? Is that getting quieter? Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of powerful. Perfect. Thank you. So, I said yesterday that every day we get to start anew. Every day we get to fix the mistakes that we made yesterday. It's not just on Rosh HaShanah. The awesome thing about the High Holy Days is that we're supposed to imagine that God is closer to us now than any other time of the year, which blows my mind because I don't think that there is possibly a day that God is any closer to me than every day. But we're supposed to imagine that God is closer to us than any time of the year now. Our prayers can be heard in ways now that they can't be heard during the rest of the year. That may just be a story. It gets people to come. But imagine if it were true. Just imagine. That's what I like us to do during the High Holy Days, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Just imagine that it were true, that God is closer to us now than any other time of the year. That whatever it is that we want, we need, we think we can help with, we can accomplish. There was something that one of my Christian friends posted this week on Facebook that said, I would rather live my life as if God existed and die and find out that God didn't, than live my life as if God didn't exist and find out that God did exist. That's not specifically motivation, but I thought it was clever, and I thought it's especially clever during the High Holy Days. So in order to start our High Holy Days by saying that today is a day that God created just for me to do something holy and meaningful with, we start our Rosh Hashanah mornings like this. Hineni muchanu mezuman, hineni muchanu mezuman, hineni muchanu mezuman, hineni muchanu mezuman. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. 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 Lekayem mitzvot habori, hineni muchanu mezuman. Lekayem mitzvot habori, hineni muchanu mezuman. To fulfill my Creator's commandment, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. To fulfill my Creator's commandment, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Ukedashtem et hayom hazeh, hineni muchanu mezuman. Ukedashtem et hayom hazeh, hineni muchanu mezuman. To make this day a holy day, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. To make this day a holy day, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I woke up this morning and I realized that it's Monday. I had no idea that it was Monday. All I knew was that it was Rosh HaShanah. We can make this day a holy day. One of the things that I am especially thrilled about for the High Holy Days is that we have this amazing choir to help inspire us with music. So the choir is going to begin officially the service on page 81. So of all the magnificent songs that you're going to hear, the choir said that's the one that got stuck in their ear for all these weeks. So I dare you to pop that one out. That was beautiful. And thank you, Spencer. And that was on page 541, in case you were wondering of the transliteration, but so keep your finger there. I should have told you that. We continue on page 85. So there's a story that's been going around on the internet lately about a little boy in England who's autistic. And he has to take these standardized tests like all the other kids. And he did not do well on this standardized test. And the teacher sent the grades. Did you see this? How many people have seen this one? Did you see this? Oh, it's coming. Let me just tell you, everybody's been posting it this week. And so the teacher sent home the grades to the parents with a note that said, I don't remember what his name is. We'll say Jeremy. Jeremy did a wonderful job. I don't want you to think about the kinds of grades that he got on this, because it is not the only thing that you can use to evaluate a child, because he is kind and he's really good at sports and he's good with numbers and he's good at all of these other things. And please remember that this is not a way to judge you. So I want to remind you, as we're heading into the High Holy Day season, we think about the things that we did wrong, and I want us to also think about the things that are miracles in our lives. So on page 85, we have these nisim b'chol yom, these everyday miracles. I hope that you're appreciating what life has to offer. Our tradition on Saturday mornings is that we chant this in Hebrew and we chant it in English. We make up a melody, which apparently is a little bit like a real melody that I didn't realize I was doing, but it goes like this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesechvivina lavchin ben yom uven laila. Blessed is the eternal God. That's what I was going for, except in the end you all wound up with the same melody and you stole my melody. We were trying to make it sound a little bit like if you were at a traditional service where everything is going at the same time, but that's fine, you sound wonderful. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir sheina me'einai u'tona me'afapai.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who moves from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kufihim.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who loves the fallen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten li'ayif koach.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechim mitzadei gaver.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who makes firm each person's step.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumihim.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who finds clothes for the naked.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani bat chorin.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who has made me to be free.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who brings freedom to the captive.
This next one, by the way, we changed the translation a little bit. If you can read the Hebrew, you'll see that the last word is Yisrael. And there are many people who worship with us who are not Jewish. So you are welcome in the translation to say, thank you, God, because you made me a Jew, or you can say, thank you, God, for making me a part of Israel, because the people who are not Jewish, who are worshiping with us, usually are very proud to say that they're part of Israel. So know that people may be saying a different translation for you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who made me a Jew.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who turns the people that drove astray.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Blessed is the eternal our God, who fills Israel with glory.
Okay, we're going to make a big giant jump, and we're going to go to page 165. Because I promised you service too. This Rosh HaShanah, each of us enters this sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of gratitude and joy. They're overflowing with the happiness of love and the joy of life. They are eager to confront the day to make the world more fair. They're recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune, and we rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily upon them, and they have tasted despair. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken those whom they cherished. May our presence and sympathy bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. They've sought answers in vain. They have had their ideals mocked and betrayed. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore their hope that there's something to find. Some hearts hunger. They long for friendship. They crave understanding. They yearn for warmth. May we, in our common need, gain strength from one another, sharing our joys, lightening each other's burdens and praying for the welfare of our community. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness and of the impulse within us for justice and mercy, we pray that this hour of worship may be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Let all who enter the sanctuary search and need, all who bring to this place the offering of their hearts. May our worship here lead us to fulfill our words and our hopes with acts of kindness, peace, and love. Amen.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך יראותך וימליך מלכותך, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ומרו. אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמך דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ומרו. אמן. Praise be Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who makes light and creates darkness, who ordains peace and fashions all things.
To you the stars of morning sing, from you their bright radiance must spring.
And steadfast in their vigils day and night, the sons of God, flooded with fervor, ring your praise. They teach the holy ones to bring into your house the breath of early light.
With compassion you give light to the earth and all who dwell there. With goodness you renew the work of creation continually, day by day.
How manifold are your works, O God! In wisdom you have made them all. The earth in its fullness is yours.
Beyond our praise is the work of your hands. Beyond expression, the wonder of your light.
Blessed is
the
Adonai,
Eternal One, maker of light.
Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'meorot. Great is your love for us, O God, and deep your compassion, our Maker and King. Our ancestors trusted in you and taught you, and you taught them the laws of life. Be gracious now to us and teach us. Have compassion upon us, O source of mercy, and guide us to know and understand, to learn and teach, to observe and uphold with love all the teachings of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching, help us to hold fast to your mitzvot, and unite our hearts to love and revere your name.
Then shall we never be shamed, for we shall put our trust in you, the great, holy, and awesome one. We shall rejoice and be glad in your salvation, for you, O God, are the author of many deliverances. In love you have chosen us and drawn us near to serve you in faithfulness and to proclaim your unity.
Blessed are you, Adonai, you have chosen your people Israel in love.
Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Transliteration is on page 536. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. You shall love your eternal God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God. True and enduring, beloved and precious, awesome, good, and beautiful is this eternal teaching.
This truth we hold to be forever certain. Eternal God, our soul, rock of Jacob, protecting shield.
You abide through all generations. Your name is eternal. Your throne stands firm. Your sovereignty and faithfulness are everlasting.
Your words live and endure, true and precious to all eternity.
Eternal our God, you redeemed us from Egypt.
Set us free from the house of bondage.
For this, the people who felt your love sang songs of praise to you.
The living God, high and exalted, mighty and awesome.
Who humbles the proud and raises the lowly, who frees the captive and redeems the oppressed.
You are the answer to all who cry out to you.
All praise to God Most High, the source of blessing. Like Moses and Miriam and Israel, we sing to you this song of rejoicing. Rock of Israel, rise up to Israel's help. Fulfill your promise of redemption for Judah and Israel. Our Redeemer is Adonai, the God of hosts, the Holy One of Israel. Blessed is Adonai, the Redeemer of Israel. Page 538, number 9, if you need the transliteration. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. Each generation has its path, each a vision of its own. Our mothers and fathers kindled light.
To lead us to the day of shining hope.
With mercy, our companion along the way. A life unmarred by hate and war.
A time of steadfast love, our journey's end.
Homage to the faithful who came before us.
And bless the light that is ours to kindle.
Honor to the generations of Israel, our people.
All honor to those who illumine our paths.
זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים. למענך אלוהים חיים. Remember us unto life, O Sovereign who delights in life, and inscribe us in the book of life, O God of life. Great is the eternal power at the heart of life, mighty the love that is stronger than death.
Faithful love gives life to all. In acts of grace restore our strength.
Life's harsh winds uproot the weak, its hard rains beat down upon our kin. Let those who stand support the falling. Keep faith with those who lie in the dust.
To the sick we must bring healing, and to those who are bound, release.
How good to redeem the ancient pledge, for joy to blossom in arid soil.
We give thanks for the power to live and to act, and for the blessing of love that is stronger than death.
We're about to say a very important prayer. I guess they're all important. This one is special to Rosh HaShanah. It is said that the words we're about to utter were born of the martyrdom of Rabbi Amnon of Mainz. He chose to die so that his faith might live. He said, Unetana tokef kedushat hayom, let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. Now the divine judge looks upon our deeds and determines our destiny. A legend, and yet surely our deeds do not pass away unrecorded. Every word, every act inscribes itself in the book of life. Freely we choose, and what we have chosen to become stands in judgment over what we may yet hope to be. In our choices, we are not always free, but if only we make the effort to turn, every force of goodness within and without will help us, while we live, to escape that death of the heart which leads to sin. Let us proclaim the sacred power of this day. It is awesome and full of dread. For on this day, your dominion is exalted, your throne established in steadfast love. There in truth you reign. In truth you are judge and arbiter, counsel and witness. You write and you seal. You record and recount. You remember deeds long forgotten. You open the book of our days, and what is written there proclaims itself, for it bears the signature of every human being. The great shofar is sounded, the still small voice is heard. The angels, gripped by fear and trembling, declare in awe, "This is the day of judgment, for even the hosts of heaven are judged, as all who dwell on earth stand arrayed before you." As the shepherd seeks out his flock and makes the sheep pass under his staff, so do you muster and number and consider every soul, setting the bounds of every creature's life and decreeing its destiny.
Rosh HaShanah Yikatevun Uveyom Som Kippur Uveyom Som Kippur Yikatevun Rosh HaShanah Yikatevun Uveyom Som Kippur Uveyom Som Kippur Yikatevun Hamaya vorun v'hamaya bareun mi yifye u'mi yamut mi vekitso u'mi zo vekitso
Shana Yikatevu Uveyom Tzom Kippur Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemu
Mi va'esh u'mi va'mayim Mi va'cherev u'mi va'chaya Mi va'rav u'mi va'tzama
Rosh HaShanah Yekatevu Uveyom Tzom Kippur Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemu
Mi va'rosh u'mi va'magefa Mi va'chanika u'ni va'skila Mi yanuach u'mi yanuach
Rosh Hashanah Yikatevu Uveyom Tzom Kippur Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemu
Mi yashkit u'mi yetorah Mi yishalef u'mi yityaser Mi ani u'mi yashir Mi ushpal u'mi yarum Rosh HaShanah Yikatevu Uveyom Som Kippur Uveyom Som Kippur Yechatemu Rosh HaShanah Yikatevu Uveyom Tzom Kippur Uveyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemu
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, On Yom Kippur, it is sealed. How many shall pass on? How many shall come to be? Who shall live? Who shall die? Who shall see ripe age, and who shall not? Who shall perish by fire, and who by water? Who by sword, who by beast? Who by hunger, and who by thirst? Who by earthquake, who by plague? Who by strangling, and who by stoning? Who shall be secure? Who shall be driven? Who shall be tranquil, and who shall be troubled? Who shall be poor, and who shall be rich? Who shall be humbled, and who exalted? Uteshuva, utefila, utzedaka, ma'avirin et roah hagzera. But repentance, prayer, and charity, tempered judgments, severe decree. This is your glory. You are slow to anger, ready to forgive. God, it is not the death of sinners you seek, but that you should turn from their ways and live. Until the last day, you wait for them, welcoming them as soon as they turn to you. You've created us and know what we are. We are but flesh and blood. Human's origin is dust, and dust is our end. Each of us is a shattered urn, grass that must wither, a flower that will fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, a particle of dust floating on the wind, a dream soon forgotten. But you are ruler, the everlasting God. Please rise. We continue on page 180. Kadosh, holy is the dignity that is human, sacred the mystery we call divine. Holy is the sacrifice made for those we love, precious the pains they take for us. Sublime the glory of the heavens above us, sacred the beauty that glows within us. Noble is the mind in search of meaning, the heart is happy that finds its way. Awesome is the power that rules our being. Holy the kinship that makes us one. Please be seated. We continue on the bottom of 181. We stand in awe of all created things, the power within them that gives them form, the ancient law that rules them all, fish of the sea, birds of the air, the quiet stone and the beating wave, all woven from a single loom. We stand in awe of all created things. We stand in awe of courage. Honor to those who endure, the seeker, the giver, the one who loves, all who sing and all who weep, the one who makes his heart loss again, the one who gives her heart to love. Honor to those who endure, and honor to all who are just. To be just, upright, and faithful, let this and this alone give joy. To reach as high as one may dare, and do no hurt, and kill no hope. Let this and this alone give joy. Oh, when will arrogance end and wickedness cease? And when will tyrants be no more? On that day, rejoice. The faithful will rejoice, and all who breathe be glad. For goodness shall reign forever. Justice shall be exalted. Righteousness holds sway. As it is written, Eternal of hosts is exalted by justice. The holy God is sanctified by righteousness. We stand in awe of all created things, of all that is holy, of all we cannot name.
It is the power of holiness that leads the world to the rule of goodness.
Out of the mystery of time and event has come the call to serve the highest, to hallow this life, this time and place. Now we remember his call. Again it comes on this day of remembrance, as we hear the sound of the shofar, unite in worship, and recall the beginning of all our liberations, when our people walked upright from the land of bondage and turned to the land of promise. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, ya'alev yavo v'yizacher zichronenu, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, l'tova, l'chein, l'chesed, u'lerachamim, l'chaim u'l'shalom, b'yom hazikaron hazeh. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova, and you say, Amen. Ufagdenu vo levracha,
Amen.
v'hoshienu vo l'chaim.
Amen.
As in the heart of matter, a flame flares unseen to bring us warmth, So in the human heart, a spark of goodness glows, a portent of renewal, of life, and of peace. This day may we grow in self-knowledge. This day may we reach out for a full life. Amen. We give thanks for the mitzvot which hallow our days, and pray for wisdom to guide our lives by Torah. May our redemptive labors make us glad, our struggle for purity not fail, our striving for good bring us joy. Blessed is the vision of holiness that exalts the house of Israel and the day of remembrance. O fill our minds with knowledge and our hearts with wisdom. Praise be the mind that unifies all creation. Remind us of the best that is in us. Praise be the will that gives us power to choose our way. Help us to feel the anguish of the afflicted and the oppressed. Praise be the heart that inspires in us a vision of justice and love. Make us bring knowledge and skill to help the infirm. Praise be the power that brings healing to the sick. Teach us to stand in awe before the mystery of being. Praise be the one who is present in the miracle of prayer. Many are the blessings on this day of remembrance. We give thanks for life itself, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of our senses, and for the excellence of the Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. O let abundant life be the heritage of all. Peace, happiness, and blessing, grace and love and mercy, may these descend on us, on all Israel, and all the world. May all who breathe affirm the law of life, to love kindness and mercy, to seek blessing, life, and peace. A divine light will shine upon us, one and all, as we struggle to bless the world with righteousness and peace.
Blessed is the power that makes for peace.
Praise be those who labor to bring it into the world. Be among those who cherish truth above ease, and whose prayers are shafts of light in the darkness that otherwise would envelop us. Be the same within and without. Aspire to be loving, compassionate, humane, and hopeful. Become the prayer for goodness your lips have uttered. Become Israel, exemplar of the highest, and serve all that is great within you. Take a moment for silent meditation. Meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, God, my rock and my Redeemer. We continue with the Torah service, the reading of the Torah, which begins on page 120. I promise that even though we're going backwards, it is progress. Page 120.
En kamocha v'Elohim Adonai. En kemosecha מלכותך, מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
When the ark is open, please rise. Too many mics on. Avinu Malkeinu, 100 generations have stood as we do now before the open ark. Turn off. I got it. That one. Does that help? Yes. No? Everything has to come off except this one right now. We got a lot of feedback. Can you hear it? I'm standing in front of the... And which one was that? Turn it down. Down. Okay. Can you still hear me? Thank you, Torah. You helped. Try again. Avinu Malkeinu. 100 generations have stood, not exactly as we do, but as we do now before the open ark. That they found in themselves little merit testifies to their humility. They repented and amended their ways. They fell only to rise again as they climbed toward the light. Strong was the faith of those who stood before us, while we are of a generation that has sought to dethrone you. Many have said to the works of their hands, you are our gods. Strange then to see the emptiness in those who cast you out. Strange to see the agonies of our time grow more numerous and more intense, the more our worship centers on ourselves. Strange that men and women grow smaller without you, smaller without the faith that you are with them. We pray, therefore, that this day, which yet restores your people, may help us come close to you, the living God, the God of life. For you are with us whenever we seek your presence. You are absent only when we shut you out, only when, full of ourselves, we leave no room for you within our hearts. We call you Avinu. As a loving parent, forgive our sins and failings and reach for us as we reach for you. We call you Malkeinu. As a wise ruler, teach us to add our strength to your love, that we may redeem this world and build your kingdom. To this vision, to this possibility, to this task, we offer ourselves anew. You have to come closer. We're going to read responsively. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu,
Hear our
voice.
Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha. Our Father, our King, we have sinned against you. Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Va'al Ol Aleinu V'tapenu.
Our Father, our King, have compassion on us and on our children.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Dever V'cherev V'ra'av Me'aleinu.
Our Father, our King, make an end to sickness, war, and famine.
Avinu Malkeinu Kale Kol Tsar Umastin Me'aleinu.
Our Father, our King, make an end to all oppression.
Avinu Malkeinu Kodvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Our Father, our King, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life.
Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova.
Our Father, our King, let the new year be a good year for us.
Avinu Malkeinu Malei Yadenu Mi Birchotecha.
Our Father, our King, fill our hands with blessing.
Avinu Malkeinu Chonenu Va'anenu Ki En Banu Ma'asim Aseh Imanu Tzedakah V'Chesed V'Hoshienu.
Our Father, our King, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Trust generously with kindness and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu,
Seimanu tzedaka v'chesed. Seimanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Seimanu tzedaka v'chesed. Seimanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Adonai, Adonai el rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet, notzer chesed l'alafim, nosei avon v'fesha v'chata'an v'nakeh. Adonai, Adonai God is merciful and gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to thousands, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin, granting pardon. Beit Yaakov, lechu v'nelcha be'or Adonai, O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of the eternal. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amu Yisrael bekedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'norah Shemo. Adonai hagidula v'hagvura, v'netzach v'hahod, ki chol b'shamayim. Pass it down, pass that Torah electricity down, please. Ki Adonai hagidula v'hagvura, Lecha Adonai. Rosh Ki chol b'shamayim, ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hagidu love hagvura lecha hagidu love hagvura. Ki chol b'shamayim, ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz. Bashamayim ki chol bashamayim uvaretz lechad. You may be seated, unless you are part of the Kent family or my Torah reader. Yamdu kulam b'mishpachat Kent. So, where to go? Can I tell them? I'm not getting to read the Torah this morning because Ron Nierman is going to read the Torah today, in memory and honor of his father, Neil Nierman, and his aunts, Shirley and Shirley, who were inspirations and who read Hebrew for us every year, and it's really hard for us to do a service without all of those. And, well, you'll see. He's doing things that no one has ever done before, including reading and translating simultaneously. We are going to be reading from page 124, possibly one of the most difficult and awesome passages. And the Kent family is getting the honor of blessing the Torah. We need a bigger sanctuary, I think, in honor of, oh, look who's here. Sorry. There's a zvuv on the Torah. You know what that means? Fly. There was a fly on the Torah. To honor Sidney for his 90th birthday, being the one of the patriarchs of the family and the congregation. So let's find our spot. I'm going to put this on the chair behind. Ron, come on, it's your Torah. Show them where we're going here. Everybody else, please gather around. He's going to show you the spot to kiss. Is this one on? Yes. Sound is way better now. Thank you. I think we fixed that. All right, show the spot. Somebody have a tallis or a book? Get a book. Here, take this. Take this. You could use this. Where's the first word?
That's open.
Whoop. Sorry. Let it close over here. Okay, well, we don't have to open more yet. We just have to find it, close up. I need the Kent family to hold on to the Torah. When you bless it, somebody hold it. Sorry, you can let go of this, but hold on to the Torah. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu Adonai. Start from here. Wait, start with 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. And we say Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. And you say Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Shmo Amen. Would you hold? Kent family, gather around and hold. Come around, come around. It's your Torah now. Hold on to it, please. Hold on, hold on. Everybody, hold on. Thank you.
Vayehi achar hadvarim ha'eleh v'ha Elohim nisa et Abraham. There came a time when God put Abraham to the test. Vayomer elav Abraham, vayomer hineni. Abraham, God said to him, and he answered, here I am. Vayomer kach na et bincha et yechidecha asher ahavta et Yitzchak. Then God said, take your son, your precious one, Isaac, whom you love, v'lech lecha el eretz haMoriah, v'ha'alehu sham la'olah al achad ha'hari, and go.
Asher.
And go to the land of Moriah. There you shall offer him as a burnt offering on one of the hills that I will point out to you. Asher Omar Elecha. Vayashkem Avraham Baboker. Vayachavosh et Chamaro. Vayikach et Shnei Na'arav Ito. Va'et Yitzchak Beno. Vayivaka Atze Olah. Early next morning, having first split the wood for the burnt offering, Abraham saddled his donkey, took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. Vayakom vayelech el hamakom asher amarlo ha'elohim. They came to the place of which God had told him. Vayom hashlishi vayasa Avraham et einav Vayar et hamakom merachok. On the 3rd day, as he looked up, Abraham saw the place from afar. Vayomer Avraham el na'arav Shavu lochem po im hachamor, va'ani v'hana'ar ne'elcha, ad ko v'nishtachave v'nashuva aleichem.
Vayomer
lost my
Avraham,
place.
it's right here. Vayomer Avraham, and Abraham said to the lads.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Vayomer, I said in Hebrew?
You did it in Hebrew, yeah.
Okay. Abraham said to his lads, "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go up to worship. Then we will return to you." Vayikach Avraham et atzei ha'olah, vayasem al Yitzchak beno. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and laid it on his son Isaac. Vayikach be'ado et ha'esh va'et ha'ma'achelet vayelchu shenehem yachdav. He himself carried the firestone and the wood, and the two walked on together. Vayomer Yitzchak el Avraham aviv, Vayomer avi, Vayomer hineni v'bni. Then Isaac broke the silence and said to his father Abraham, "Father," and he replied, "I am here, my son." Vayomer hinei ha'esh v'ha'etzim, va'ayeh haseh la'olah. He said, "I see the firestone and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Vayomer Avraham, Elohim yirelo haseh la'olah b'ni, vayelchu shenehem yachdav. And Abraham said, "God will see to the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the two walked on together. Vayavo'u el hamakom asher amar lo ha'elohim. They came to the place of which God had told him. Vayivin sham Avraham et hamizbeach, vaya'arok et ha'etzim. Abraham built an altar there. He laid on the wood. Vaya'akod et Yitzchak beno, vayasem oto al hamizbeach mima'al lo etzim. Abraham built an altar there. He laid on the wood. Vaya'akod et Yitzchak beno, vayasem oto al hamizbeach mima'al lo etzim. He tied up his son and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Vayashkem Avraham et yado, vayikach,
Vayishlach Avraham.
vayishlach Avraham et yado, vayikach et hama'achelet, lishchot et beno. He reached for the knife to slay his son. Vayikra elav malach Adonai min hashamayim, vayomer Avraham, Avraham, vayomer hineni. But an angel of the Eternal called to him from heaven and said, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," he said. Vayomer al tishlach yadacha el hana'ar va'al ta'as lo me'umah. And the angel said, "Do not raise your hand to the boy, nor do the least thing to him. Ki ata adasi, ki yirei Elohim ata, v'lo chasachta et bincha et yechidecha mimeni. For now I know you stand in awe of God, since you did not withhold from me your own son, your precious one." Vayasa Avraham et einav, vayar vahini ayel achar ne'echaz basvach bekarnav. As Abraham looked up, his eye fell upon a ram caught in the thicket by its horns. Vayelech Avraham vayikach et ha'ayel vaya'alehu la'olah tachat beno. And so Abraham went and took the ram and offered it as a burnt offering in the place of his son. Vayikra Avraham Shem hamakom hahu, Adonai Yireh. Asher yeomer,
Yeah,
pardon,
you're right, sorry.
hazeh,
Oh, yeah, Mer Hayom Bahar. Yamer.
Hayom Bahar Adonai Yireh. And Abraham named that place, the Eternal One sees, as it is said to this day, on the mountain of the Eternal there is vision. Vayikra Melach Adonai El Avraham Shenit Min Hashamayim. The angel of the Lord called out to Abraham from heaven a second time. Vayomer bi nishbati ne'um Adonai, and said, by myself do I swear, says the Eternal, ki ya'an asher asita et hadavar hazeh, v'lo chasachta et bencha et yehidecha.
Kiya'an, because you've done this.
Because you have done this and did not withhold from me your own son, your precious one. Ki varech avarechacha v'harba arbeh et zarcha kachokvei hashamayim v'chachol asher al safat hayam. I will bless thee greatly, and will make your descendants as numerous as the stars of heaven and the sands of the seashore. Vayirash zaracha et sha'ar oivav, and your descendants shall come to possess the gates of your enemies. V'hitbaruchu v'zaracha kol gayei ha'oretz. All the nations of the earth will be blessed through your descendants. Ekev asher shamata bekoli, because you obeyed my command. Vayashav Avraham el na'arav, vayakumu vayelchu yakdav el ba'er shavat. And Abraham returned to his servants, and they left together for Beersheba. Vayashev Avraham be'er-shavat, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba.
Wow. Point to that last, wait, so here, you have to touch and kiss. Go ahead, touch and kiss. Close up, close up, close up. No, wait, hold on. Baruch, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nasa b'tzorchenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. He said his favorite part of the portion is about how we get blessed like the stars of the sky and the sands of the sea. And when you look at the kinds of families that are up here already here, we're seeing that we are blessed. Yasher koach to everyone who blessed. Hold on one sec, please. Everyone who blessed the Torah can go down. Yasher koach, yasher koach, yasher koach, yasher koach chechem. Ron, amazing. In honor of your family and memory of those who have gone before. You can go. Awesome. Awesome. And now please rise as the Torah is lifted. We're on page 128. V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. You may be seated. We now have the Haftarah reading. The blessing is on page 129. We will continue with the Haftarah reading on page 133.
Praise be the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who has chosen faithful prophets to speak words of truth. Blessed is the eternal for the revelation of Torah, for Moses his servant, and Israel his people, and for prophets of truth and righteousness.
At the coming of the 7th month, when the people of Israel were in their towns, all the people gathered as one body in the square in front of the water gate. They asked Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord has enjoined upon Israel. On the first day of the 7th month, Ezra the priest brought the law before the assembly, both men and women, and all who could understand, and he read from it, facing the square in front of the water gate from early morning till noon. Then Nierman the governor, and Ezra the priestly scribe, and the Levites who taught the people, said to them, "This day is holy to the Lord your God. Do not mourn or weep." For all the people had been weeping when they heard the words of the law. Then he said to them, "Go now, eat of the best, drink sweet wine, and send portions to those for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy to our Lord. Do not be sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength."
Closing blessing is on page 135.
Praise be the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, rock of all creation, righteous in all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for this day of remembrance that you, O eternal our God, have given us for honor and glory, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being, for your word is true forever. Blessed is the eternal King of all the earth, for the holiness, the house of Israel, and the day of remembrance.
Amen. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Come here. Okay, we're jumping forwards again. We're on page 208. Guess what? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I'm sad for all the people who come on the evening of Rosh HaShanah and don't get to hear the shofar, and they don't come back in the morning. Yay, us. I need my shofar blower up here. Dum-dee-dum-dee-dum. So I'm going to read the note while he's coming up. In ancient Israel, the sound of the ram's horn announced the beginning of a new month, the Jubilee year, the coronation of a king, and all of the solemn moments of the year. But when the new moon of the 7th month came to be observed as the new year, new and deeper meanings gathered around the sounding of the shofar. These meanings, deepening still, awaken within us each time we hear the shofar call. How many people say shofar? How many people say shofar? Just saying. Okay, it's all of the above. Just saying. Just so you know, I will probably slip into each of those during the reading because I grew up with one and then came to be another. Hear now the shofar, acclaim the world's creation, and now recall Isaac's awesome trial. Hear now the shofar, you who stand at Sinai.
Now proclaim the rule of Israel's God.
Hear now the call and turn in true repentance.
Now affirm the triumph of good.
We are made in the divine image,
We are the house of Israel,
the kingdom of priests.
a holy people.
Know then the sound, discover its meaning. Awake, you sleepers, from your sleep. Rouse yourselves, you slumberers, out of your slumber. Examine your deeds and turn to God in repentance. Remember your Creator, you who are caught up in the daily round, losing sight of eternal truth. You who are wasting your years in vain pursuits that neither profit nor save. Look closely at yourselves. Improve your ways and your deeds. Abandon your evil ways, your unworthy schemes, every one of you. We continue on page 210. God of space and time, yours is the word that laid the foundations of the world. By your command it went forth to the seas. Thus far shall you come, but no further, and here shall your proud waves be stayed. When the morning stars sang together and the hosts of heaven shouted for joy, then your creative word made the light to break through the darkness and life to issue forth from the marriage of heaven and earth. And as you shaped all things from the beginning, so do you rule and sustain them day by day. You are infinite spirit, giving all things their form. Amid the ebb and flow of ages, only you abide unchanged. Yours is the king. We have different versions of the book here. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The heavens were made by the word of God. their starry host by the power of God's thought. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim God's creative work. These are a mere glimpse of your ways, and how faint a whisper we hear of you. For you, the Eternal, are a great God, a ruler high above the idols of every age. I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me, there is no God. Dominion is yours, Eternal, and you rule the nations. Declare to the nations, God reigns. Now the world is secure and firmly based. God reigns. Let the earth rejoice, the many nations be glad. God will reign forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron. Blessed is the eternal God, ruler of all the world, for the holiness of the house of Israel and the day of remembrance. Please rise. We read together, Blessed is the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and calls us to hear the sound of the shofar. Blessed is the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'shema kol shofar.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen. Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah. God of all lands and ages, the ground under our feet is holy. The light that shines for us is yours. The world glows with your presence. You are just beyond the horizon of the mind, a vision new to us, yet seen before, like a memory of the future, a promise already kept. We remember Abraham and Isaac walking together toward their mountain, Jacob dreaming of a ladder to link heaven and earth, Moses turning aside to look at the common bush burning with a divine flame, David dancing before the ark of your covenant, a shepherd prophet roaring your word like a lion, the days and years of our own lives, a search for light in a dark and dusty time. And we remember a rainbow. We remember the prophets whose vision will not grow dim. We remember the sages for whom goodness was daily bread. As we remember, we affirm the heritage that gives our life its worth. We remember what you mean to us as signs appear when paths diverge. We remember what you mean to us when empty days are now fulfilled. We remember what you mean to us. Now, together, we have endured hope's touch in the dark wood through which we walk. God, your love is everlasting to those who revere you. Your righteousness continues to children's children, to those who keep your covenant, who remember your commandments and do them. Never will I forget your precepts, for by them you have given me life. I remember your kindnesses, God, your great goodness to the house of Israel. You remember your covenant, the pledge you gave for 1,000 generations. The Eternal, your God, is a God of compassion, who will not forget the sworn covenant with your fathers and mothers. I remember your ordinances from of old, O God, and I am comforted. I will meditate on your precepts and keep your ways before my eyes. I will find joy in your statutes. I will not forget your word. Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may live. Let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Baruch atah Adonai, zocher habrit. Blessed is the eternal God, who remembers the covenant. Please rise. Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah. Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah. Now we call to mind the great moment when Israel stood at Sinai and heard the voice of the shofar. There our people entered into your covenant to be your witness to the world. From there they went forth to proclaim the laws by which the free may live and the enslaved find hope. That covenant we renew when we hear the sound of the shofar. From that day to this have we, a people acquainted with miracle and disaster, encountered you again and again on the path of our life. And you are present, O Eternal One, not on peaks of vision alone. At any moment we may turn and find you. The whisper of a thought, the most humble touch of being, may lead us to you. So endlessly revealed amid your concealments, you stand awaiting our search to lead us with many a fall upward to heights we tremble to climb. All this we hear when the voice of the shofar, stranger among sounds, is heard. And that shofar sound heralds yet another day whose promise is our hope. Then shall begin the time of peace of which we dream. A world of truth shall be revealed to us, and together we shall rejoice in the kingdom of God. Distant the goal, at times it fades from sight, for we are free, free to love, free to build the kingdom, free to hate, free to tear it down. And yet the dream is not forgotten, the vision does not fail. It is the meaning of our lives. Come what may, we shall hold fast to it. And even when the hope seems lost, we shall say, the kingdom of heaven could begin today if we but hearken to God's voice. The great trumpet will sound and summon us to serve under your banner of truth, of purity, and of peace. On that day the great shofar shall be sounded. You shall cause the shofar to be sounded and proclaim liberty throughout the earth to all its inhabitants. Happy is the people that knows that joyful sound. They shall walk, O eternal God, in the light of your presence. And it shall be said on that day, this is our God for whom we wait, whose deliverance we await in hope. This is the God for whom we have waited, in whose deliverance we shall rejoice and be glad. Every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill made low. The uneven ground shall be made level, and the rough places a plain. The glory of God shall be revealed, and united all shall see it, for the mouth of the Eternal has spoken. Shout joyfully to the Eternal, all the earth. Break forth, sing aloud, shout praise. With trumpet sound and shofar blast, acclaim the sovereign God. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea kol teruah, amo Yisrael berachamim. We praise you, the merciful God, who hearkens to the sound of the shofar. Tekiah, Shavarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shavarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah, you may sit down for now. Sit. Continue on page 218. Eternal God, we pray to you for the whole house of Israel, scattered over the earth, yet bound together by a common history and united by a common heritage of faith and hope. Be with our brothers and sisters whose lives are made hard because they are Jews. Give them strength to endure and lead them soon from bondage to freedom, from darkness to light. Bless this holy congregation and all who serve it, together with all other holy congregations in lands near and far. Uphold us, shield us, and bestow upon us abundant life and health and peace and happiness. Bring to fulfillment the blessing of Moses. Adonai, your God, make you 1,000 times as many as you are, and bless you as God has promised you. Amen. O God, send your healing to the sick, your comfort to all who are in pain or anxiety, your tender love to the sorrowing hearts among us. Be their refuge through their time of trial, as they pass from weakness to strength, from suffering to consolation, from lonely fear to the courage of faith. Amen. We pray for all who hold positions of leadership and responsibility in our national life. Let your blessing rest upon them and make them responsive to your will, so that our nation may be to the world an example of justice and compassion. Deepen our love for our country and our desire to serve it. Strengthen our power of self-sacrifice for our nation's welfare. Teach us to uphold its good name by our own right conduct. Cause us to see clearly that the well-being of our nation is in the hands of all its citizens. Imbue us with zeal for the cause of liberty in our own land and in all lands, and help us always to keep our homes safe from affliction, strife, and war. Please read with me together at the bottom of the page. We pray for the land of Israel and its people. May its borders know peace its inhabitants tranquility. And may the bonds of faith and fate which unite the Jews of all lands be a source of strength to Israel and to us all. God of all lands and ages, answer our constant prayer with a Zion once more aglow with light for us and for all the world. And let us say, Amen. I need to invite up the Rachel Stewart Haas family. Is it just you? Hi. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of the Eternal, whose name alone is exalted. Please rise when the ark is open. Odo al-eretz v'shamayim vayarem vayarem keren le'amo tehila tehila l'chol chasidav Yisrael Am Kerovo Hallelujah 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 Hallelujah. The law of Adonai is perfect, restoring the soul.
Sure, making wise the simple.
The precepts of the Eternal One are right, rejoicing the heart. The mitzvah of the Lord, giving light to the eyes. The word of Adonai is pure, enduring forever. The judgments of Adonai are true and altogether just. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Et chayim hi lama chazikim ba et omechecha meushan terachecha tarchenam v'chol nedivotecha shalom.
Shivenu Adonai Erechav Nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yamenu Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. My book says sermon here. Your book doesn't say sermon here? His does. Theirs does. I am very, very proud of Ron for the accomplishment that he did about being able to read a lot of Hebrew without vowels. You know the thing, but that was amazing. And as I mentioned, it is one of the most difficult stories in the Torah for me to deal with. Poor Ron, as we were practicing, I would like be cringing and turning and like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? No, it said that he went to kill his son. I cringe every time he says it. But I didn't today. He practiced reading it and he read it flawlessly. And I practiced not cringing while he was reading. And I was very good. I didn't cringe. It's a very stressful story to me. On Saturday mornings when we do our Torah talk, our study time, and I hope some more of you come to that because it's an awesome time. When I teach Torah, I always say, who are you in the story? In this story, are you Abraham when you hear the story? Are you Isaac? Are you God? Maybe you're the ram. Are you the lads accompanying Abraham? They only get to go this far, and then they get to go back with him. Are you Sarah, waiting at home? Most of the time, I think we get to be Abraham. We're essentially seeing the story through Abraham's eyes anyway. We hear the words, take your son, your only son, the one you love. We can't help but hear it as my son, my only son, the one I love. But I can't be Abraham. Don't get me wrong, Abraham was a person of absolute faith. God told him, Lech lecha, to leave, and he left. God made promises, and he believed. God taught him how to be decent to other people, and he was. I can be that. I do what God tells me to do. I don't eat shellfish. I don't eat cheeseburgers. I make Shabbat a special day. I fast on Yom Kippur. I try to take care of other people. I try to take care of my earth. I do all those things, I think. I really try to do the things that God tells me to do. God could have said to Abraham, instead of putting him through this, God could have said, thou shalt not ever, 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 ever sacrifice your children. Ever. I wouldn't do it. I promise, with all my heart, soul, and might, I wouldn't do it. If I were Abraham, I wouldn't do it. I would argue. I would complain. Maybe God would say, yeah, I was just messing with you. I'm glad you complained. Of course you shouldn't do that. Thou shalt not ever, ever, ever sacrifice your children, ever. But in the story, I can't be God. We're taught that God is trying to let us know that although other people do it, we're not supposed to sacrifice our children. But I think it is a horrible way to teach that lesson. I don't think I ever tried to teach someone something by telling them to do something horrible. I don't even like to see people learn their lesson by having done something horrible. You tell your children not to touch the stove because it's hot. One day they're going to touch the stove and they're going to get burned. Valuable lesson. They learned. I hate that they learned it like that. I would never trust anyone who tells their child to touch the stove so that they know that it's going to be hot. I think in today's society, parents who teach their children like that go to jail. I don't remember if I told you the story about I was learning how to swim. And we were in this giant pool, and my dad said, swim to me. And I swam to him, and I'm going, and he's saying, kick harder, kick harder. And he was standing right there. And I'm kicking, and I'm swimming, and I'm flailing, and I'm swimming. And he's saying, kick harder, kick harder. And I'm kicking harder, and I'm sure I'm going to drown. And then he catches me, and he says, look. And I turn around, and I had just swum all the way across the whole pool. And he was so proud of me. And I was horrified. I hated that lesson. I hated it. I thought I wasn't getting anywhere. I didn't feel like I had accomplished anything. I felt relieved to be alive. I've never been a bad swimmer, but if you asked me, and I don't think anybody has ever asked me this, I don't think my family knows this, if you had asked me my least favorite way to die, drowning and freezing are the two least favorite ways to die, because I think in high school I had to read Call of the Wild. That was horrible. God told Abraham to leave his home, where he was born, the place his father is, go to a place where God will show him. Abraham trusted God so much he did it. He packed up and went. That was fine. Abraham was a doer. Abraham was someone who believed in God. I could do that. I guess I could imagine in the story being Isaac. I could imagine trusting my parent, which was different than Abraham trusting God. I'm Isaac. I asked Dad, where's the offering? And Dad says, God will show us the lamb for the offering. I'd have no reason not to believe God, my dad. That line that Abraham says is one of the strongest defenses that shows that Abraham knew all along that God would show the lamb for the offering. But then Abraham ties up his son, puts him on the wood, takes the knife, reaches his hand to slay his son. I couldn't be Abraham. I wouldn't want to be Isaac. I wouldn't want to be the lads left behind, not getting to participate in this special sacrifice. I wouldn't want to be Sarah. You know, some people think that she died when she realized what was happening before Abraham got to go back. I wouldn't want to be the ram, because even if it was for a special purpose, I wouldn't want to be stuck in the thicket just so that I could get sacrificed. And I honestly wouldn't want to be God at that moment either. One of my favorite lessons about the story was when you realized that the silence may be the most important part of the story. What did the silence mean? There was so much silence between Abraham and Isaac on their trek. Sarah's voice is silenced about this. We never get to hear her perspective, her version of the story. Most of the lessons about the story I've heard feel that in that silence, there is faith. In the silence, there is Abraham trusting God, Isaac trusting his father. Silence is sometimes thought of as the most powerful way to support someone, especially, for example, if they're in mourning. Sometimes words get in the way, and sometimes talking can make the situation worse. Well, that may be, but as you remember from last year, silence also stresses me. In our history, we have learned that silence is complicity. In the Torah, we learned that when we didn't speak up, it meant we agreed with the scouts and weren't ready to enter the promised land. We learned that when we didn't speak up, no one was left to speak for us. I don't want to be the silence in the story. But these aren't the only perspectives in the story. I think I decided I would like to be the angel. I would like to scream out, Avraham, Avraham, do not raise your hand against the boy. Don't do anything to him. I want to be the one who stops this unspeakable thing from happening. I want us all, each of us, to be angels. Not just in the story, everywhere we can. I want us to look for opportunities to call out and stop horrible things from happening. Another thing I want us to learn is that in our own lives, I want us to know that sometimes when we set out to do something, sometimes it is okay to not go through with it. We learn that we make choices every day, all the time. Wake up when the alarm goes off, or hit the snooze alarm, or turn off the alarm altogether, or don't even set the alarm. So many choices, and our day hasn't even started yet. From last year to this year, we chose to set goals for ourselves. Some people set goals for other people, but that's a different story. I was going to say different sermon, but I think it requires not so much a sermon, but therapy. Presuming that you remember any of the goals that you made for yourself, how well did you do in accomplishing them? One thing that I've learned is that achieving goals comes in different forms. I did achieve at least one of my goals from last year. Not sure if you can tell, but I lost 20 pounds since last year. I really wanted to. I believe I need to lose a lot more than that, but that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I tried very hard to lose weight. I modified my diet, and it didn't help. I tried exercising more, and it didn't help. Losing weight was a very difficult thing to do. Last night, I found out that many people really don't read my bulletin articles. But hints about how I did lose weight were in a whole bunch of them, indirectly. First, I was in excruciating pain. Then eventually, I was diagnosed with CRPS, which I talked about in Passover because I said it was like Carpas, CRPS. It's a sympathetic nerve disorder that may never be cured. I was taking a medication. Every time I mention it, everybody says, oh, the one with the commercials. I don't watch TV. I don't know about commercials, but apparently it's on a lot. I was taking Lyrica. While I was on the medication, I was in much less pain. But I was also a little bit foggy. Not the same kind of foggy as when I was on the hydrocodone stuff in the early stages, but enough to make me wish like I feel my head work a little bit clearer. And I felt like the CRPS or the meds were what was making me gain my weight. So my pain doctor told me that there was a medication that may not make me gain so much weight, and it even cost less. A few months out of the year, I was paying $600 a month for a 1-month supply. But he kept telling me that the medication for me was Lyrica. It worked better for CRPS. The pain was so traumatic that I didn't care about anything else, and I did not want to change anything that seemed to be helping. Like that article I wrote said, another one, it said, sometimes you have to try things. Sometimes you have to try things that you didn't expect to try before. Sometimes you have to just try. So I weaned off of Lyrica. I began a regimen of something called gabapentin. I lost 20 pounds. It took months. I still hurt, but I've been able to tolerate the pain thanks to the medication, thanks to very helpful physical therapy. I had to increase the gabapentin a bunch, but I feel like switching meds was like Abraham finally seeing the ram. It was there. I finally listened to my angels, and I found an alternative that changed the direction of my journey. Sometimes, when the goal is interrupted and diverted, it yields better results. Even when things are going well, sometimes you need to change your direction. Changing your mind can be a glorious thing. I don't think we have to be Abraham to have faith, or to do the right thing, or to stop ourselves from almost doing the wrong thing. And I don't think we can always rely on there being an angel that's not us to stop us from doing things we shouldn't, or stop others from doing things they shouldn't. Rosh HaShanah and Yom Kippur are opportunities to examine our options, our goals, our choices. Hopefully, this new year, we'll each have success in reaching our goals. Hopefully, during this period, we are reminded to listen to angels too. And maybe we can be inspired to be the angels. Shana Tova. Mr. President, what do you want to tell us today?
Shana Tova. Please come this afternoon at 4 p.m. to the Glen on Flournoy during the Tashlik ceremony with Rabbi Jana and Cantor Neil. On Tuesday, September 18th, Yom Kippur services will begin at 7:30 p.m. in Lefkowitz Hall, and all daytime services will start 10 a.m. the next morning. If you need a copy of the schedules for the holidays for the rest of the month, you can find it in this month's bulletin. We have printed copies here, or you can find it online. The youth group will have members handing out bags at the end of the service. They will hand out the bins and be ready to collect non-perishable food beginning with Yom Kippur and continuing through the end of Sukkot. Please help them with this mitzvah and remember to donate food. Children of any age cannot leave services without adult supervision. If a child is distracting during services, please bring them to the child care room. We would particularly like to thank the choir for the beautiful music, to everyone who gave donations. The music just adds so much to our service, and we appreciate it very much. Spencer is our music director, and Adam Philley, our choir director. Thank you to the Brotherhood for being ushers on the holidays, and to the Sisterhood for preparing the break fast. Remember, the office is closed for all Jewish holy days, including Rosh HaShanah, Yom Kippur, and the first and last days of Sukkot. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in honor of High Holy Day services of B'nai Zion by Betty and Jeff Reichman and Spencer Reichman, in memory of Edith K. Levy by Henry Brenner, in memory of Donald L. Rosen, Ann and Jake Yavinsky by Mr. and Mrs. Larry Yavinsky and family, in memory of Gloria and Charlton Meyer by Charlton, Susan, Claire, and Andrew Meyer, in memory of Stephen Muslow by the family, in memory of Ruth and Bernard Kallenberg, Betty and Leonard Phillips by Sandy and Jeffrey Kallenberg, in memory of Frida and Morris Hyman, Alfred Hyman, Millie Hyman, Esther and Louis Lobel by Dorothy and Bernard Lobel, and in memory of Abe and Ray Gilbert, Neil Nierman, Pauline and Lazar Murov by Ruth Nierman and family. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to say that I don't know if you realize how many people it takes to make these services successful, because we had people who were polishing silver and people who were changing batteries and people who helped us carry stuff back and forth, and I can't even begin to tell you how many details go into making this a successful service, and I am grateful to every single one who's helping with this. We continue our service on page 222 as we bring up now our ark openers. And when the ark is open, please rise. We will read together in the English. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto God, who spread out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the earth. He is our God, there is none else. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. May the time not be distant, O God, when your name shall be worshipped in all the earth, when unbelief shall disappear and error be no more. Fervently we pray that the day may come when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to pure integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye, when all who dwell on earth shall know that you alone are our God. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your kingdom be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, the eternal shall be one, and God's name shall be one. Life and death are like mysteries. We journey through a country dimly seen by the uncertain light of thought and feeling, and death is undiscovered territory, a land without report. Yet as we now remember our loved ones who have died, we look ahead with faith and hope. They've faded from our sight, but they live on in God's presence, where nothing good can perish. In the eternal, all beauty shines forever. As we turn from thoughts of death to tasks of life, may we, like those who came before us, be builders of God's kingdom, a world of justice and joy. We rise for the mourner's Kaddish on page 223. The translation is on 224. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'a gala u'vizman kariv, v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha richu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace Send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. You may be seated for our closing song, but the closing song is all the way back on page 160, which means 161. Well, it starts on 160, goes to 161.
All the world shall come to serve you and bless your glorious name.
And your righteousness triumphant, the islands shall proclaim,
And the people shall go seeking who knew you not before. And the ends of earth shall praise you and tell your greatness o'er.
they
Shall build for you their altars, their idols overthrown.
and
Their graven gods shall shame them as they turn to you alone. They shall worship you at sunrise and feel your kingdom's might, and impart their understanding to those astray at night. With the coming of your kingdom, the hills shall shout with song, and the islands laugh exultant that they to God belong. And through all your congregations, so loud your praise shall ring, that the utmost peoples hearing shall hail you crowned King.
Some of you may not have been able to tell, but I was asked to be an extra bass, so I was singing the low parts on that one. Shall crown you hailed King. I tried. I love my choir. And now, at the beginning of a new year, we pray for blessing. The spirit of wisdom and understanding.
Amen.
The spirit of insight and courage.
Amen.
The spirit of knowledge and reverence.
Amen.
May we overcome pain and sorrow.
Amen.
May our days and years increase.
Amen.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu, shetechadesh aleinu shana tova u'metuka. Eternal our God and God of our people, renew us for a good year. Please rise for the closing benediction. I know you thought that was it. And I am reminded to tell you, please bring your books out when you come with you. Please, when you come out. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be looking up to you, because God has something that God looks up to you about. And may God grant you peace. Shana Tova, everybody. Have a wonderful new year. Hope to